They got like a little group chat. Where they do now. They come up.
Y'all are lame as
together.
fuck. Make sure you type y'all lame as fuck.
Chumps and monkeys.
Y'all are uneducated as fuck, bro. Turn that off in here, cause it'll
He
flag
said,
us.
they say, oh, I'm saying, I'm a zoo-born chimps are born. So you're saying you have chimp DNA?
Exactly.
All right, we going live.
Yeah, I had to do that because it'll flag it when it's another live. I seen that happen.
And they didn't even let you talk.
They didn't even let me talk.
It's
Fucking
not no
weird.
real. It's not no
you
real.
Think
you,
bro?
They think this is no.
Shit, gay and wild.
Shit, gay.
Shit, gay. We should have followed some of them niggas and brought them in here. They wasn't, Swarthy. They wasn't. They didn't even let a nigga speak.
They wasn't even trying to let us speak, man.
Yo.
They know we was finna cook in there. Talking about they have old blood type. Fucking chimpanzees have old blood types. We don't have no fucking old blood types. The fuck blood type? We don't have none of that. That's just for breeding purposes and entertainment purposes only.
Thanks.
The fuck?
They was scared. They didn't have no.
They was scared.
Nah,
fool.
yo, kid, you was in there laughing at everything they was saying, bro. That shit was not funny. That shit was sad as fuck. They was making fun of your own people, bro. And you know that we all native to the whole planet. That's what I be talking about. Not even your kid. I'm not even talking about your kid. I'm just saying we do not be standing on business, bro. That was our opportunity. And that was our opportunity, bro.
And the thing they didn't want to mention was antigens. Why didn't they talk about the antigens?
They don't even know nothing about that.
Why didn't they talk about that?
Our cranium is different. Like,
they don't know anything about genetics. Nothing at all.
Talk about genetics.
Tell them to all come here. Let's have a conversation here.
Yeah, go in there and get them and share the live with them. If you follow them, you know who I'm talking about. Share the live with them.
For real.
Let them niggas. I'm pretty sure we gonna end up on a FYP tonight.
He said no one's from the whole planet yet my integumentary system, which is hydrogen, helium, carbon, and oxygen, says I'm organic to all land masses throughout the universe. So how about you come up here and let's have a conversation, and let's find out your biological identification to the planet. But right now, we know that so-called black people, we all have neuromelanin, which is condensed sunlight that condenses sunlight, and yeah. Facts. So we exist throughout the whole cosmos. We exist throughout the whole land masses.
Everywhere. He said the white tea part. Okay, bet.
And they wasn't even trying to let us speak. She said 3 words. They're like, oh.
No, they're not. Show us the source. Nigga, y'all haven't showed no sources the whole time y'all been in here talking. All 5 of y'all said the cranium was different. That's not a genetic difference. It's not actually. We don't know the difference between genes and biology.
Facts.
Bet.
He said that's a reach. How is that a reach?
Come up, Smoofy.
We biosynthesize the sun. We eat the sun. Just like all life on the planet, just like the earth eats the sun. We eat the sun. Y'all don't eat the sun. Y'all don't biosynthesize that sun.
Everybody that want to talk about programming in school and shit, you still believe what they taught you in school? You still believe what somebody else told you, considering that you got a skewed perspective of history? We're not even talking about YT people here, babe. We're addressing BLK people. Look at you asserting your YT-ness in a conversation where it's not needed.
Nope. Everybody outside the so-called black race has been spliced with animal DNA through introgression, which is a process of hybridization, through CRISPR-Cas9, electrical fusion. That's how they got here. They don't come from no landmass. They come from animal DNA, animal genetics, animal genes.
He talking about YT people are native to the whole planet too. By that logic, you don't know what introgression or hybridization or CRISPR-Cas9, and it doesn't sound like you picked up any book by a doctor, because all of the doctors that look just like you are literally telling us, as of what? That was 2 days ago, where they said Homo sapiens and Neanderthals aren't even the same species. That was Facts. 2 days ago at high noon. And they've been saying that. Why do you think you're out of Africa and your evolution are theoretical? So if you're saying that it's the same logic, basically what you're trying to say is that we all have the same common ancestor, which is false. And they know that. Obviously it did. Technology is not speeding up, it's slowing down. X-Force, welcome back.
He
8 months
said
later, 8 months later,
he
niggas still
said
coming in
he
here.
said that CRISPR-Cas9 exists 6,000 years ago. I
Oh,
mean,
so you know
you're
that your
not.
people have only been around for 6,000 years? That's a bar. Where you learn that at?
Yeah, where you?
Here, here, yeah, here. Smoofy, here. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Yeah,
Mm.
hi. I'm not trying to be rude, but are you like, do you believe that like black people are indigenous to America?
We're indigenous to all land masses. Earth is just one of our homes, and science backed this up. And
How are you indigenous to a landmass?
before every other so-called race was on this planet, black people were living throughout the whole planet, along the coastlines, along the waters. This is documented also. So that's history and science matching up. So this is you could go look this up.
And we do
Mm,
one at a time in here, so we're gonna get to you. Only one Eddie. We're just gonna let Benjamin finish, and then we'll go to the next guest. But I know Benjamin asked, like, how are we native to all land masses? That's what he was asking you.
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's we biologically identify with it. Our biology.
Before I keep going, how are two people talking as the host? How does this work?
Wow, six ether brain. Maybe there's two people in the room.
Oh, I just got confused because there's
Yeah,
no
no, but I mean,
second
like, yeah, it's
guest.
just common sense. But go ahead.
My bad. Okay. So you were talking about the coming out of Africa theory, right?
I was explaining how it is a flawed theory and how it is incorrect and inaccurate. Yes,
Right, so you disagree with him?
that's what
Yeah,
incorrect, and inaccurate means.
it's
Yes,
just a theory. It's not real. We did not come out of just Africa. Our DEA stretches back to the cosmos, to the stars.
How do you know that?
Because our
I just
skin,
said we
our
do one at a
integumentary
time. So
system,
1 second, Eddie,
our
we'll get to you.
integumentary system
I heard
holds
both
the
you two
stars
talking,
at
so I
it.
figured both of us can talk.
Right. So
Exactly.
look,
There's a genetic and a pathological or
psychological.
psychological explanation as to why you overtalk and why you feel like you need to after the rules have literally already been laid down here. Your lower brain is bigger than your upper brain, so you have problems comprehending information. This is the reason why we discuss genetic differences and we talk about biology, because race, again, is theoretical. Evolution is theoretical. Out of Africa is theoretical. Anybody laughing, feel free to come up. Explain to us your biological identification to the planet. Do that first, okay? And then you can disagree from there. Niggas
Because
saying arrogant, but come state a fact. It's not arrogant at all when people that look like you literally, you know what I'm saying, is putting this information out.
all of our
Two
cells.
days ago, they're talking about, my bad, baby. They're talking about incomplete dominance amongst your own species as of 2 days ago at noon. Okay, so then get the fuck out, ugly. Here you go.
Yeah.
I'll help you.
We have neuromelanin. Everybody outside of us has EU or pheomelanin. Our neuromelanin actually coats every single one of our cells, which is why we have no nucleus. You see what I'm saying? Our neuromelanin programs our cells. And that neuromelanin is composed of hydrogen, helium, oxygen, and carbon, which is the same thing that the sun is composed of. And then now we see that the black anatomy has prokaryotic cells that split through binary fission, and then we look at the sun that actually goes through nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, which is the same thing that happens within our bodies. So why is the same thing that's happening in the cosmos happening in our bodies?
Exactly.
Why does our epithalamus gland, which is our pineal gland, produce atoms and neuromelanin? Why does that happen?
And
Y'all can't explain that, and y'all can't explain that y'all have animal genetics, which is why scientists classify y'all as complex cell organism, because you have specialized compartments and complex way of receiving and putting out information with your organelles and internal membranes, which is why the sun is removing your nucleus.
facts.
So again, if anybody wants to come up and tell us how we're not native to all land masses, because so-called black people were native to all land masses, then y'all can come up and tell us.
And someone says everyone has melanin. Wow, again, your counterparts know that there's 5 different types of melanin. This is why you need to study and pick up a book. We don't all have the same melanin, or we would all phenotypically present the same.
For real.
Like, what the fuck? Open your eyes. But then again, we don't have the same field of vision.
Yep.
That's why we're not the same. Nothing about us is the same. We don't have the same field of vision. Your integumentary system is different. It's composed of different material. You're pheomelanated. We're neuromelanated. You're born with your pineal glands calcified. Ours literally produces neuromelanin. We're prokaryotic beings. Y'all are eukaryotic. Go ahead, Big Hefty.
How's it going? I just want to let you know your motherfuckers is not from Virginia, not from America.
There's a, again, psychological explanation as to why y'all come up here, and y'all are the only people that do that. Nobody that looks like me comes up here and really does that. And when they do, it's in a completely different way. Go ahead, S. Cliff.
What's up?
What's your age, name, and so-called race, and what brought you up here?
I'm 27. Moses. My race? I'm Asian.
So what brought you up here in a live that's talking about so-called black people are native to all land masses? What brought you up here?
Brother, why you gotta come at me that way?
Well, he's asking you a question. You came up here. You requested up. We're asking you what was the reason why you came up.
So okay, let's say you guys are right? What's your
We
point?
are right. We're very right. If you look at this information, you'll see the same thing.
No, yeah, I agree with you. So what's your point?
Go ahead, Ernest.
This nigga came on live to eat. Go ahead, Ernest. Yeah. Tell us your age, name, and so-called race, and what brought you up here.
Oh, I didn't even know I was up here, but my age is 60. My race is American Indigenous, and I'm just listening in. I didn't even know I was on the live and stuff.
All right. Well, we can drop you back down, Abundance.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, Tsunami.
30. I'm black. America, whatever. Where the hell is people? I'm just trying to understand where are people coming from saying that their black people are native to all land masses.
Science is saying that. We're not saying that. Our integumentary system is saying that. The sun is saying that.
So you're telling me that there was black people here before the Native Americans,
Oh
before the
my gosh.
transatlantic
Oh,
slave
oh
trade?
my gosh.
I'm just asking.
Transatlantic
Now,
slave trade,
either
bro?
you can educate or you can be weird.
But you said transatlantic slaves. You said that there were people here before transatlantic slaves.
I'm
So
asking.
obviously there were
Was there
people.
black people here
Listen
before
to
that?
what you're saying,
Because
brother.
I
Listen
don't.
to what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying. You're talking about transatlantic slave. Was there people here before? You do know that we were here first,
I
and we
don't
had
know. If
history.
if I did, I wouldn't be.
Okay, let me explain. So we literally taught the world when these people came out of the caves. They
You niggas
came
is
out on
spreading
all
fake
fours.
lies, man. Shut up.
Okay,
You
all
don't
right.
even
So
know
then
who
get
you
the
are.
fuck out, bitch.
You see why we don't just
Bitch
because
ass
niggas
nigga.
don't want to come up here and learn.
How you gonna
Come
ask
out.
me a question and then not even allow me to explain? Nigga, you taught the world everything they know. When they came out of the caves, they came out with hypertrichosis on all fours. Who was the only person that was deemed as a multi-genius on this planet? It was Imhotep. That was the first documented one. Everything that you know when it comes to math, science, it doesn't matter what it is. When they told you that it was created in whatever date, wasn't it always discovered before then? Nigga, Pythagorean theorem was discovered way before these niggas even said, before the Greeks even got a hold to it. So if you study real fucking history, nigga, her story, nigga, you gonna see that. I've never heard a brother, a fellow son, ask me, was it black people here before transatlantic slave? I've never heard that before. I didn't even know niggas was asking questions like that. Respectfully. Go ahead, Aiden.
Oh
What?
yeah, you're
What comes first?
absolutely wrong that black people are native to all land masses.
Okay, go ahead and explain. Go ahead and explain what's your biological identification to the planet then, because you're obviously saying there's only two haplogroups that science know of, right? Scientists know of. So
And
we're we're
where
we're
did they
of two completely different haplogroups. So explain to
where did they
me
form?
if we the other haplogroup are not native to all land masses, then explain your nativity to the planet. Then that's all I'm asking you to do.
through a
Where are they from?
biological and scientific answer. Thank you. Go
Where
ahead.
where did these groups form?
What fucking groups, bro? Can you be
The
specific and can you
haplogroups
have
that
a
you're talking
conversation?
about, where
Okay,
did they
so
form?
exactly. So
I
do you
can in
okay,
Africa.
hold on, Aiden, hold on, because you're not even saying nothing right now. Okay? Please. When we're talking about haplogroups and when we're talking about where they come from, again, you are explaining, trying to hint to out of Africa and saying that we have the same common ancestor. What I'm telling you right now is that evolution theory has been debunked because there are more than one haplogroup. They don't know. The same question that you're asking me, scientists don't
Ma'am,
even know. So if you know the answer to it, go ahead and tell us. But
you're
it's two
absolutely
different
making stuff
haplo.
up.
Okay, so
You're
you're not
absolutely making
you
stuff up.
don't even know nothing, nigga. You didn't even know the word haplo until you came up here,
Anybody
bro.
anybody that want to come up here and say that the evolution theory is how we are all the
We're not.
same, can you tell us how we went from haploids to diploids?
Thank you.
Tell me how we went from having no animal DNA in a hot environment and then moving into a cold environment and now having more than 5 animal DNA inside my genome. Can you guys tell me that? Because if you guys can't tell me that, then we didn't go from no haploids to diploids.
Exactly,
You
and you
see what I'm
shouldn't be
saying?
talking about common ancestry because scientists aren't even saying that we have common ancestry. So then why would we? That's the reason why I asked him. So when I say I don't know, I'm saying scientists don't know. So then how the fuck are you coming up to a panel saying that you do? That's all I'm asking you. You can't say, "Oh, y'all aren't native," and then not explain your then explain your biological identification to the planet then. And if you can't, you get off the panel. Go ahead, Ernest. It's a lot of racist ass comments, bro. We don't care about race. What's your biological identification to the planet? Let's talk about species. Since scientists know we're not all the same species, let's talk about that.
Right, y'all scientists saying we're not the same species, and also crying that a solar flare is gonna hit a super solar flare. They're all calling it the super solar flare. They're saying we're doomed. These are people that share genetic makeup with you, saying that this is over with. Zachariah Zenchin, David Icke, all of them are talking about how there's. Are you going mute?
No.
All of them are talking about how there's reptilians, and Zachariah Zenchin also talked about, which are people that share your genetic makeup, are talking about how y'all were spliced and y'all genetics can be spliced. Y'all were spliced to be on this planet. Y'all were edited to be on this planet, and that's what a eukaryotic cell means: true seeded nucleus. Y'all was seeded here. You see what I'm saying? To mine gold, and all natural resources come from our pineal gland, our
Okay,
epithalamus
so we
gland.
do one at a time. Like really, if we want to have a discussion in a proper debate, everybody needs to stay muted and go one at a time and no over talking. So since you don't want to participate, you can get the fuck out, bro. Simple as that. Judalishi was first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really commend you guys on the topic and maintaining, your integrity and keeping, this platform like it is, because there's so many platforms out there that shoot down anything that that's contrary to science and everything. So, um, what I wanted to say, I have one little nugget that I agree with you guys on everything you're saying. But I found like when they said, well, how is it all these people came to be in all these lands at the same time? Um, I'm a sort of religious guy, but I'm also scientific. I'm also philosophical. Plato, and I read all types of things. What I found from the world of philosophy, that there was a continent that had 70 million dark-skinned people on it that had a natural disaster. Now, I'm not going to get into that right now, but that was part of the dispersing of the dark-skinned people around the world. That's how they ended up in all the continents around the world. But I go to Genesis chapter 11. It speaks of that all the people were one. They had one language. And the problem was with that was they were building all these high places. We call them pyramids, but Genesis called them high places. When you read all through the Old Testament, you hear that they building high places. We didn't know what that was. I thought it was like a little hill with a little statue or something. No, they were called pyramids. We call them pyramids. They just call them high places. So according to the scriptures, that the Most High God was unpleased with us trying to reach him that way. So he stopped us from building those things because we were trying to reach him through something that was like scientific or something that he didn't want us to reach him through. So that's how we were dispersed around the whole globe as a nation of dark-skinned people. We were in China, we in Russia, we in Ireland, we in India. India has records on us. China has records on us. Russia have records on us. England have records. We have kings and queens who the Dark Ages. They call it Dark Ages because they don't want to tell you the history of those dark-skinned people ruling England and ruling Britain and Scotland. All King James were dark-skinned. All these people were made up and somehow they were overthrown. But the thing is, yeah, we were in this land. They called the people who were in this land, they called them Mu, M-U-U-R. That's before any nation. They were all one. They didn't have 1,000 tribes. They were all one type. So what happened, they had that natural disaster, but it was a land of gold. According to philosophical records, they said this were the richest king in the world, who was this black king. I forgot his name, Musa. They say he used to come over here. He had found a whole mountain of gold. They couldn't find where this man found this gold from. He used to travel to America. I mean, it wasn't called America at the time. It was called Mu, and bringing back shiploads of gold. And they were looking for it in his country, but he used to travel to here and get all this gold. So if you look up the records now, Utah, all those areas, they got mountains. They got places where they're off limits to the dark skinned people, but they got caves they finding gold every day, tons of gold, gold. Even in the Grand Canyon, they don't let you down there, but they shipped all those artifacts out over 100 years. They found in 1906 something, and they shipped all those mummies, all those Egyptian statues out to Europe. And they even shipped them to Egypt and saying that Egypt is Egypt. This is the first Egypt. Yeah, that's the second Egypt. When we seeded the whole world, we went over there and established that Egypt afterward. We have more pyramids here in this country than any other place. And then they said they were burning. One guy said they found burial sites where they were burning tens of thousands of mummies that were dark skinned in Kentucky, and I forgot the other state. They said they found caves where they had caverns with thousands of dark-skinned mummies, the inhabitants of this land. Why are you burning the inhabitants of the land if you don't want nobody to see who they are? They never let you see them when they find them. So the Smithsonian has tons of it. They trying to keep it from you knowing who you are and who we are and who this continent is. But I just commend you guys on doing the things you do. I'm just going to back off. I just had a few words. I ain't really want to debate.
Abundance and gratitude. I heard you saying that we were dispersed all over the world. Somehow we were already here, y'all. I promise you, we were already here. And that's what I want y'all to really start. That's why I want our people to start with genetics, bro. I heard you say something about Genesis. Genesis is explaining parthenogenesis. The atom that they're talking about is atom, atom. The Eve gene is what black women, so-called black women, have and are the only person on this planet that carries that gene, that cell. So no other woman on this planet can do that. My bad, y'all. I was waiting for the background noise. You chaotic people. You know what I'm saying, bro? Anyways, so the totipotem stem cell is what's being taken and it's being perverted and it's being used for artificial parthenogenesis, which explains the origin of which these people come from. So everybody outside of our so-called race does not have the same origin story as us, and there's several people that know this. There's scientists at, I can't remember which university is at, but he has over almost 1,200 publications. 800 of them are about somatic parthenogenesis and introgression and hybridization. It's his job to literally do this and study this information. You see what I'm saying? So this is something that's definitely being talked about studied and discussed, and this is something that they have known for a while. So
And if we keep focusing on one landmass, we won't see the whole. Because all these landmasses make up Earth, and she's alive. And by all of us so-called black people, all throughout all landmasses, can biosynthesize that sun. So why are we arguing? Like, what are we arguing about? That y'all can't tell us the biological differences because all of our hair can grow towards the sun. You see what I'm saying? And our phenotype is the same. So if our phenotype is the same,
my bad. Go ahead, Dwight. Dwight Williams, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay, yeah, I really dig you guys, man. You know what y'all saying is powerful, but my perspective is what I'm looking at. I don't think we know how to change the conversation over to energy, I think that's what we need to start talking about. How do we change all this book, all this stuff over to energy for we can do what you guys say. Use this what we got. And I think that's the dilemma what we had. I think that's the argument because everybody done read so many books, so everybody got something to offer, and I think we done switched over. You know what I'm saying? I think Gaia is woken up. I know we here now, but I think we don't know how to change it over to energy. Because I think we
It's
still on the.
I think not to cut you off. I think conversations like this help change it over to energy, right? Because when you
Right,
understand your genetics, when you understand that the BLK woman is the carrier of the totipotum stem cells, when you
right,
understand after the stem cells and that it has nothing to do with race, then again it becomes energy. And what you're doing is when you're studying genetics, you're studying your physical body, right? But then you also
right.
know how to relate it over to energy, which is your spirit, your etheric body. We have deoxyetheric acid because we're etheric beings and it's literally in our name. But we learn from planet. We learn a couple things about two different diseases, and then we think that we have our entire genome figured out when we're so much more. And if we lock in and understand that our women and our children are being snatched for the totipotum stem cells, then again, that brings it back to energy because as the masculine's energy, the masculine's role is to protect the species. You see what I'm saying? It's not about um, everything that we've been taught through patriarchy through that lens, right? It's about, like you said, going back to energy and understanding that that's where we have leverage. But abundance for that. Did you have anything else? I'm gonna get to Miko.
Yeah, and the guy you was talking to earlier, just one more thing. Just let people know we have never been Cro-Magnums, we had never been Neanderthals, we had never been Troglodytes. So that's what make us different.
Absolutely. That's what makes us the organic species. Right? That's what
Right,
makes us the true divine beings of this planet, the creators, right? Um,
right.
that's the difference is organic versus inorganic. Everything. It's not even just the people, right? It's the animals, it's the plants. All of these things are being perverted on a genetic level. When we take an eye off of race, then we can lock in on genetics and seeing that that's what they want. They want us to be chemically imbalanced as possible because that's their thing. This entire earth is electromagnetic. The organic people of this planet are electromagnetic. Everybody here, everybody else outside of us is here through electrical fusion. They only have electricity, energy, but the magnet is what they don't have. So they are not conducive to this planet. When we lock in on the truth and stop going through patriarchy to see everything, because this is Mother Earth. So why don't we ever take a look into the real matriarchy? Why don't we ever take a look into who was the first matriarchy instead of who was the first man to do this? right? Because when we look at the BOK woman's genetics, her genes are the only, or her cells, I'm getting tongue tied, are the only what the fuck am I trying to say? She's connected. They've studied that her offspring is connected to a group of so-called black people that's never been seen here on Earth.
Yeah, the woman has a mitochondria DNA.
Right. We do one at a time, so I'm gonna get to you in just a second. But I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, Miko, and then I'll get back to you, Zod.
Well, yeah, I'm sitting here listening. It's kind of a crazy conversation. Not like crazy, like something's wrong with you or anything. Like you do have a mind, but the thing is like there is contradiction in this conversation, and I hear a lot of it because today is meant to disqualify any ancient knowledge of yesterday.
Can you repeat that?
That's the whole point of it. And that's the whole point of science today, is to disqualify what the ancients knew. So everything you're saying, like, yeah, genetics is part of it.
No, genetics is the answer.
The other guy, he's saying energy too. But how was this energy created?
Oh wow! So
like,
this is why okay. Hold on, because this is the reason why we're talking about genetics. Okay, because you are here through electrical fusion. Is that not energy? And when we're talking about what our cells do on a quantum level, it literally aligns with the Big Bang Theory. So before
there was no Big Bang Theory.
Okay, before we talk about the physical, you said something about energy. Let's stick with that because 6 ether versus 9 ether, we can go there too. If we want to talk about energy, we can also talk about how your energy, your etheric body is not conducive to this planet either. We can leave genetics out of it. We can go every level. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's inorganic to the planet, there is no biological identification to it. Do you have any evidence to back up your claim, Miko? Go ahead, Zod.
I was basically saying you were right and you're on the right path. I like that. I like this conversation.
Gratitude.
And the so-called black woman is the original one that gave birth to us all. Without her, none of us would be here. So yes, I agree fully. And it's all about genetics.
And when you say all, can you clarify that for me, please?
Everybody on the planet is part of one DNA strand. Everybody you see, you're looking at different variations of yourself through your DNA. So it's all about genetics. It's from the dominant to the recessive. That's all it is.
The recessive doesn't come from the dominant.
Yes, it does.
So, if we look at the science, yes, it will say that. But the process of how it's done is, again, electrical fusion. So when it comes to them, it's inorganic. So let me explain. When you're basically perverting the totipotum stem cell to have a fucking white person, an Asian, a Mexican, a Dravidian. Mm-hmm. That's how they are here. We don't come from the same haplogroup.
You can't experience anybody in existence that doesn't come from you. Everybody exists inside your mind.
Okay, everyone. This is the reason why we say 6 versus 9 ether. Energy is in everything.
Okay.
Whether
right.
Energy
So the 6 ether.
Energy is in everything, even in inanimate objects. Okay? A box has energy. Let's not go there with energy because everything is moving even if it's sitting still. That's potential energy waiting to go kinetic. All right, so even when we're talking about energy, just because it's here does not mean that it's conducive. That's what we're talking about. I know that these people are here. I know that there are eukaryotic plants, that there are eukaryotic animals that are here. The question is, what is their origin? Is the origin, are they here naturally? We would phenotypically present the same if we were all the same. Period. If we all come from the same origin, we would all be the same. But when we look at on a genetic level, on a quantum level, on a biological level, on a phenotypical level, in every level, these people are not conducive. All the animals that they share DNA with are here through genetic splicing as well. And they are not even the same amongst themselves, which is called incomplete dominance. So when you're reading the science and when you're looking at it, what is organic, what is what is inorganic, that comes from having electromagnetism and being able to discern what's actually real and what's not. Because we have a 6 ether perspective versus a 9 ether perspective. Go ahead. And the man downstairs, you kept timing out, so you can come back up and express your mind. Go ahead, Zod.
I fully agree with you because you did like a lot of research about this shit, and I was agreeing with you through everything. You know what I mean? But what I have come to find out that we could not experience them, and they could not experience us if we didn't bring them here to experience us. We have within us the recessive gene. We took the recessive gene out of us to bring them here. We had to slice animal DNA, all that to bring them here. So they are a part of us. This is why they get all their information through us.
We didn't make them.
So yes, we did.
What's the name of the recessive gene?
What's the name of the recessive gene? You tell me, because you know it all.
No, you're the one who said it. Why the fuck are you using reverse psychology, bro? You're the one who said it. I'm asking you to clarify what you said. What's the recessive gene? Because I can tell you about the 1p36 gene or the SLOS phenotype. And that's the reason why I would say it. So go ahead and explain to me what's the name of the recessive gene, please.
Yeah, tell us.
Why are you getting an attitude?
Because I speak with intensity and I'm assertive when I speak. Go ahead and tell me the answer. Focus on the answer and stop deflecting.
Like, what's going on?
If you don't know, just say you don't know. It's okay. It's literally okay to not know everything. That's what protons and electrons do. They come together. They bond. Like,
yeah, so this was bonding.
They exchange information. Alphamation. Go ahead.
So thank you for giving me the information of what the recessive gene is called. Thank you.
No, that's not, brother. See, now you're playing and see, you don't even know what you're saying, and you can literally just say that you don't know.
All of our cells.
I just said that. I said thank you for that.
All of our cells are programmed by our neuromelanin, and neuromelanin is condensed sunlight that condenses sunlight. So all of our cells are powered up by a sun within us. This is what you don't understand. You see what I'm saying? We don't have no recessive genes. That recessive shit, that came from them. That came from pheomelanin. That came from the MCR1 gene. That came from that. That came from the SOS phenotype. That's where it came from. It ain't come from us. So again, with that being said, let's move on to the next guest.
All right, you can stay up here, Zai. I appreciate it, but we challenge thinking here for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I would say, listen in on the conversation and join in where you see fit, so that way we can, exchange information. Go ahead, toe sniffer.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me up here. I wanted to touch up on the second part where it says we are arguing every day on this app for no reason.
What's your so-called age, name, and race?
Oh, I'm 20. My real name is Harut, and I am from the Kafkaz region.
Go ahead.
So, as an oppressor myself, I do oppress minorities. I want to say that this is true. We as oppressors, we laugh at you because you're calling Cyprio Africanus or Amerigo Vespucci African Americans.
You're slow as fuck. You're slow at your own shit, dummy. Lower brain bigger than your upper brain. That's not even what the post is even saying, Smoofy. Look at what the post is explaining. It's explaining to BLK people. First of all, you skipped over when the world was black. Field of vision a little narrow. Then you went over to the African American without even reading what it says underneath, explaining that we shouldn't subscribe to these names because they are describing your people. That's the reason why there's quotes around the word oppressor. Nigga, you not oppressing shit with them animal genes.
Yeah, the sun oppressing them genes though, huh?
Facts. 1p36 SLOS
oppressing them.
phenotype is being depleted. The nucleus is what's being removed, and y'all are the only people on the planet with the nucleus. It's at least 5 different animals speaking through one nucleus. You confuse your damn self halfway through your sentence. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's that shit. That's that shit. Y'all come up here and y'all crash out. Y'all crash out.
For real.
All right, go ahead, the man, cause you one of them one. Look, ready. You see, it's ready. I think ready as fuck. Go ahead.
You believe that
Go
black
ahead and
people,
do age
so-called
name
black,
and so-called age, name, and race, please, and then we can get into that. Doctors and engineers are saying what I'm saying too, toe sniffer, but you didn't come up here and state a fact. Try again next time. Go ahead, the man.
53, black from America.
Go ahead.
So you believe that black people are native to every landmass in the world?
I actually know that based on their genome.
How do you know that?
Based on their genome.
Based on their genome?
Based on their genetics. They're the only ones on the planet with the genetics that biologically identify with the planet, and they're the only ones. Everybody
So
else have everybody. Let me finish. When you ask me a question, it's okay. I know you want to get it out because you feel like you're
I
about to,
got you. I got
but
you.
you're not. You're not. Okay. All right. Everybody else is here through electrical fusion, which is not natural. Go ahead.
Electrical fusion. From what? What's the electrical fusion?
CRISPR
CRISPR
Cas9.
Cas9.
CRISPR Cas9.
Yes.
What's that?
It's genetic.
Electrical fusion. You just asked me. Like, do
It's
you eat
electric.
meat? Hold
What's
on. Hold on.
electrical
Hold on. Hold on. Hold
fusion?
on. Hold on. Do you eat meat or processed foods by chance? And do you drink filtered water, juice, and soda?
No, but
Oh,
tell me. So they came through electrical
in your
fusion.
PFP?
Electrical fusion of different animal cells. That's what they did. They spliced different animal cells. CRISPR Cas9 is genetic editing. You see
Who
what I'm saying?
spliced? Who spliced them?
Who spliced them? When they saying there's gonna be a fake alien invasion, the aliens been here.
Yeah.
A lie in the north. If you look at the tallest mountain in the north, where all compasses point to, the creator of the eukaryotic species sits there, and is over there, and is harnessing children with their energy and so-called black women over there. That's why so many black women go missing, and so many of our children are missing.
So
And
why don't anybody else know what this person is? Where they're splicing people at?
They know. They know.
They
yeah,
who's they?
The your 13 families,
your royal bloodline,
your
all of
yeah,
them,
they know.
they
And
all know.
it's also people of the same species I know because they know exactly where the underground tunnels are, and they will tell you.
Yep, and the Pope, like the Queen and stuff, all in England, they all follow under Pindar Moloch, the Dragon King, which is just a reptilian extraterrestrial. You see what I'm saying? And he has a group of other extraterrestrials that are also scientists and geneticists, and they have been splicing DNA for like 300,000 years on this planet. So they've been here,
You know
and
this
they
how? How do you know this?
how do I know this? Because of the
Yes.
Sumerian tablets. Zachariah Zenchen, which is one of their people, a historian and a scientist, actually wrote 12 books about the Sumerian tablets, breaking it down, and they unalived him for that. His own people unalived him because he was telling the public how his people were genetically spliced and genetically modified to be on the planet to take their resources. And then when you look at a biology for dummies book, which is also made by them, it will tell you that viruses um, what's
Need
it
a
called?
host.
Yeah, viruses need a host, and they actually steal all their materials and their resources, and that's the same thing that they're doing on a macro level to us. You see what I'm saying? And they can't sustain life on this planet naturally, so they need us. They need our women's totipotent stem cells, which is capable to do all things. One example, Henrietta Lacks.
you realize that this all sounds very insane, right?
You realize that you came up here and this is not your first time. You haven't stated one fact, neither time, and you came up here and you asked us questions. You didn't know none of this shit until you came up here and you asked and we told you.
But you
State a fact.
anything either, actually.
Okay. Go ahead,
Why you keep
Slapback.
talking
Thank you for
bullshit?
your
You're
time and energy.
53.
You're a 53-year-old man, and I
Like
can
what the
tell you eat
fuck?
meat by that PFP, nigga.
Yeah, I'm from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm 40 years old. I just want to say that, my interpretation of this is that we all just a vibration. You know what I'm saying? We here, we in this realm, but only in the physical form because the energy is eternal. You know what I'm saying? And I think that everything that we do, everything that we interact with and encounter every day lowers our vibration. And that's why we're not able to transcend and perceive the higher dimensions that we know exist. So how do y'all feel about that? That's all I wanted to add.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right, and we know that.
Yes.
This is the reason why we talk about genetics because it leads us back to the sun.
Yep. And this the vibration, good word that you said, the vibration that the sun is letting off is actually taking all the eukaryotic cells off of the planet because they're not conducive to the planet. They're not organic to the planet. And they're slowing down the planet's development and our children's development. So this is why our adults aren't making calculus decisions and we don't see that our children are going missing. You see what I'm saying? This is what's going on. So that I see what you're saying, that all this vibration, but you gotta have the right vibe and discernment to know that there's an inorganic species on the planet that don't naturally exist here, and they don't have a soul. They don't have a miniature sun inside of them. They have pheomelanin. You know what I'm saying? Their consciousness can only rise as high as animals because they're spliced with multiple different animals.
Bet, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, but we are all energy. You see what I'm saying? But this is why we talk about what type of energy. Is it electromagnetism or is it just electricity? Right? Because there are things that are also here. There are certain energies here that shouldn't be here because they're not conducive to this planet. So when you really lock in on genetics, you really, really, really have no choice but to see the truth. Because that's what it means to know thyself, is to study. You have
Facts.
to study you. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
you have to what people don't do, what we don't do is we look at everything in the physical and we don't know how to relate it back to spirituality. So we stay
Exactly. It's
stuck. And like
always the
you
yin
said,
and the yang.
yeah,
It's about
yeah,
balance.
facts.
Facts.
Absolutely.
That's the number one rule in the cosmos, brother. Know thyself. Every
Facts.
Facts.
organic
I
species,
feel that. Yeah, I
every
feel the
cell knows.
positive energy growing here. I feel like we on to something with this now.
Yeah. We on this every time.
Yeah.
Abundance,
Already.
gratitude.
Already. I feel y'all brothers and sisters. That's all I wanted to have was just to put some positive energy into the universe. Cause I know that we are higher beings, and once we tap into that, I feel like as a people we're gonna be better. And once we get past all of the low vibrational hearsay, should say, and it's just that it's been a lot of misinformation put upon us throughout the years. So now it's like everybody's saying that they woke, but they really ain't awakening. It's a lot deeper than that. And I feel like, you're never too old to learn. So that's why I'm here, just trying to learn something. You feel me?
Yeah, facts. Facts. You want to always be learning something that brings you closer to you. You know what I'm saying? If it's not bringing you closer to you, then it's driving you further away from you and your species. You got to understand energy so that way that you know your so-called role. It's your, you know what I'm saying? It's your duty to fulfill that energy, or then you're wasting the vessel at that point. You see what I'm saying? As the masculine, again, like I said earlier, it's the masculine's job to protect the species, and it's the feminine's job to, or the feminine description of the energy, not job, right? But the feminine description of the energy in layman's term is to nurture and to give life. She's the real leader.
Absolutely.
Then that chaos energy is, the order is brought to that by the masculine. So when we start going back to energy, uh like I said, genetics makes you focus on energy because it cells interacting, right? Quantum science is just explaining how everything is interacting
Protons and
on an
electrons.
atomic level. So I don't. We run away from science, but science explains that, right? We go to a racist live
For
and they say,
sure.
"Oh, that's Hotep. That's Hotep." Well, Hotep was the first documented multi genius, and he shares the same genetic makeup as you. So you see what I'm saying? If you're gonna use the facts, relate them to the bigger picture. That's why we say, what's blocking you from seeing the truth? But facts in abundance. Go ahead. Did you have something to say? Anything else? Go ahead, Apollo.
Man, I was over here saying together because I'm looking at these comments. Y'all know I like to comment. I like to kind of get in people's face with shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all always, oh, well, first of all, peace, light, love, and abundance to y'all, bro. I hope y'all days is treating y'all correctly in the right way every day. You feel me? But nah, bro, down
Gratitude and
there.
abundance. Gratitude
Abundance,
and
brother.
abundance. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, but I was just curious because bro was down here saying like, I'm kind of peeping the comments, and bro was like, black folk like this are an embarrassment to the real black people. I just want to know what this 53-year-old elder guy really got to say about like who is real black people. I was just curious, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of people come on here really trying to just dog what y'all got going on, but not really in the mindset of a student for real and trying to learn things, especially when it comes to the older generation. Seeing that from my perspective, our generation really trying to clean up after them for real and trying to get us back on track because they were here before we even got here as far as sense of being born physically. And I'm just trying to figure out like where in their generation do they find the mind and the like consciousness to come into a situation like this and really speak down when back then they had Black Panthers and things of that nature in the same sense speaking the same concepts that you speaking right now and speaking the same facts and all of this stuff and y'all kind of let that go to shit. So yeah, I kind of got personally like not offended, but I just felt like I really wanted to crash it into that and see what's up with that for real unless y'all decided that y'all wanted to speak on that. If not, that's cool. That's fine as well. We can continue the vibes
No,
for real.
I actually think you speaking facts. Actually, everything you said was really well said. Like well said because you really just asked a question. Like you know what I'm saying? You really are just genuinely wanting to know. Like there were like I said, this information comes from Dr. Layla Africa and Delbert Blair. Nigga, they was spreading this in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? There when I look at them, they were that age. I'm looking at videos of them at when they were 40s and in their 40s and 50s. So it was like you said, people that look just like us that were explaining this information, breaking down the genetic differences, right? Healing their own community, telling our community what to put in their bodies, right? What was organic, what was inorganic, and they still didn't listen. So this is why we talk about, like I said earlier, about potential and kinetic energy. See, it's a lot of stagnant people in our community because niggas are asleep, because they're battling being chemically imbalanced. They're battling patriarchy. They're battling, you know what I'm saying, feeding their neuromelanin like a Caucasian, which again is a scientific fact that when you feed your neuromelanin like a Caucasian, it slows down the production. So anything that's slowing down the production of neuromelanin is affecting your memory, which is affecting also how you perceive the world, right? It's affecting how you actually see and perceive reality. So you can't even see what's true and what's not. That's a problem. Gratitude and abundance for that.
Oh yeah, like I'm just see like look, man, I'm the type of person that kind of like to straightforward. It might be the Aries in me, bro, but I like to straightforward combat things that are being said out of context for real. Like you sitting here trying to pick on the queen for real for telling you things that you just seem to lack knowing for some odd reason, but that's your choices and your thing. But again, I asked you a question from man to man, bro, because you know what I'm saying. I've been on Earth 30 years, so I'm asking you, man to man, who is real black people, and you still have yet from man to man to approach me since you said women aren't the leaders. It's cool because you know what I'm saying. I view our women as our equals for real, but however I'm gonna come step to you and ask you a question. So again, sir, the man downstairs, which is also a curious name to name yourself as a black man as well. Who is real black people for real? I really want you to answer this question for real. I really want you to come out of your
Pull up
conscious.
right now and I'll answer it for you.
Yeah, come on, talk to me.
Real black people is people that live in reality. That's real. That's who real black people are. Real black people know what reality is and what we have to do in this world. And we don't believe that we have oppressors, for one. And
Right,
we
right. Which is the
also
reason why
know.
there's quotes around the word, which is what was explained when you left the panel. We know that you're not oppressing nothing. Even with that level of thinking as a so-called black man, your neuromelanin can't be, it can be oppressed, quote unquote, right? But the production is not being stopped. They can only slow us down from seeing the truth. And again, like the person mentioned about energy, look at ground level UVC radiation that's been ground level since 2015. Look at what it's doing to their species. They can't procreate with each other. Their systems that's been governing their mental are crashing. And the only reason why you don't believe in it is because you believe in your government, because government is reality to you. You think if a YT man tells you, or any of these niggas in these monkey suits tell you, then you see what I'm saying? You think that's real. But a nigga that has the same genetic makeup, that's explaining your genetic makeup to you, a nigga that's telling you the truth about the production of your neuromelanin, telling you that you are condensed sunlight in the flesh, you don't want to hear it.
And you talk about you living in reality. You ain't living in reality if you don't even know what your body is and you use it every day. You don't even know nothing about your anatomy, but you use it every day. But you're talking about
Hey,
you.
yo, can I
You
speak
want to
for a
know
little
why
bit?
I don't
You
believe
can,
it?
because the man. Hold on, we're gonna get back to both of y'all, but he hasn't spoken at all. Go ahead. Age, name, and race, please.
Um,
So
I,
called.
I wanna take it back to energy, right?
Age, name, and so
Because
called
we
race.
are all energy, right?
Age, name, and so called race, and then you can get into that. You're muted right now. Go ahead and do age, name, and so called race, and then we can get into that. We need to know who we speaking to.
Age, name. Okay, so my name is Trey. I'm 39 years old, and I am a quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
everything you want to call a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't call us everything, so I'm not going to even go there. But what I wanted to say is that energy is everything, right? And the energy that we put into each other or don't put into each other is so much on the table. We don't understand it. I know a lot of us do. And a lot of us know what's going on when it comes to this energy, because this is changing. I'm telling y'all right now, we looking at 2024. I'm telling y'all 2025 is going to be something different because our energy is different. We are all coming to the table and saying, you know what? We don't want none of this. We don't agree with it. We don't like it. And I am one to come up here just to say, look, I see us. I see us. And I know for a fact that everything that we going through, a lot of us are waking up. A lot of us are seeing things for what they are, and we gonna make this right. But everybody who is trying to tear that down, get out the way. Because if you don't, you gonna get ran over by a train. That's all I gotta say.
And you speaking facts. You came up
Abundance,
here. You
brother.
came up here. Gratitude and abundance for sharing your frequency, because that was facts. You got to be an energetic match for this. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about the energy, that UVC radiation. It has nothing to do about a chosen one. It's about the one who chooses thyself. That's the choice. And everything that you do, from when you wake up in the rising, from when you go to bed, so-called bed at night, whatever decisions you have made that led from rising to the end of the day is a reflection of what's going on in your energy, because everything that manifests in the spiritual manifests physically first. So a lot of y'all are thinking that y'all are walking in y'all truth, and y'all are not. Period. Like, copying somebody else is not walking in your truth, bro. It's too many people talking on
You know
TikTok,
what, sis?
and it's
Hey,
not
that go
enough
back to
people.
music.
Yeah. It goes back to
That
it
even
goes it goes to it
it
goes
go
to
back.
everything. It goes to everything. But let me thank you. But what I was saying is, we do not walk in our truth because we don't understand energy. We haven't cleaned our vessels up enough to be able to really see things clearly for what they are. You see what I'm saying? You should have already been doing the work, and niggas are just now. I'm not saying that you can't, but you need to go deep within yourself for the energy that's on the planet now, because now she waking up. Now she's woke. Fuck you mean?
I'm
You know what
God.
I'm saying? All these years and time, she's waking up. She's waking up. She's waking up. We did these
No, I'm
lives
saying the
for
same
11
thing,
months.
sister.
No, you saying
That's
the same thing?
facts.
I'm trying to get it out. You see what I'm saying? We've been doing these lives for 11 months. This is just the topic today.
I'm
Because
sorry, I just got in here today, so I don't
nah,
know
no, no,
what
no,
y'all,
no,
you know what
no.
I'm
You
saying?
good. You good. I'm saying this is just the topic today. But we've been explaining and relating everything back to energy this whole time. And art, it's like
Well, energy is everything. Energy does not DI, it is transferred. You cannot do anything to energy but transfer it.
yeah.
And that's facts.
Facts. So this is the reason why we talk about that, because what are our cells doing on a quantum level? What are they doing on a cellular level? That's how you should be
We
moving.
transfer energy. We do.
Exactly.
Sis, we do every
Affirmations.
day. When you
Facts.
go out in your world, when you get up on these lives or whatever, all this is energy that's transferred. If you receive the energy differently than somebody else, that's on you.
That's
It's
supposed to
all
happen.
about how your energy is, though. You
That's
feel what I'm
supposed to
saying?
happen
You
though.
gotta
That's
have a good
supposed to
energy.
happen. That's supposed to happen though. Your perspective, your puzzle piece is different than mine. It's different than yours. You see what I'm saying? It's going to shine bright regardless if you're moving in your truth with it though. Whatever you decide to do with that energy literally is on you. It's just a reflection of you, right? Cuz you're the one that's powering up your own reality. But you can't we you got to walk in your truth. If you want it to crash, if you want to see it fall, you have to walk in your truth, because it's your energy that will ignite her to wake up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's why I'm glad I came up here, because on some real stuff, I wanted to bring out this energy that I have inside of me, because I know within inside myself, I'm going to bring that good energy. I'm going to bring that passion, and it's going to be people that ain't going to like me, but there's going to be a lot of people that love me, because that passion and that realness and wanting us to be better and do better for ourselves, man, that cannot be denied. It can't.
Can I piggyback off that real quick? Now,
Yeah, go
all
ahead.
the information that I just gave. Now, you, the man downstairs, what about all of that information is not real life to you for real? And what about that information is not real black people for real? Because you really high-siding in the comments for real, bro. And I don't got no hate, no negativity. This is all pure curiosity of information, bro. And also just wondering, because I study y'all generations before us for real. And I watch all of y'all really down talk a lot of our generation, bro, as far as we trying to clean up y'all messes, because this information was here before we came out the womb for real. So I'm trying to figure out why in your time period of being on the planet 53 years, and also I'm assuming that you was around a little bit in the Black Panther era and all of them eras, did you
Are you
decide?
talking to me, brother?
No, I'm
No, he's
talking to the
talking to
man
me.
down there. I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out
okay.
where
Okay, my bad.
inside. No, you all right. I'm trying to figure out where inside of your generation of consciousness. I want you to take the mantle and speak for your generation, because it's not just you. Your generation of consciousness, bro. Why are y'all down shaming us for real and looking at us for spreading the information y'all handed out? Is what I'm
First of
confused with.
first of all, we didn't hand this out, to anybody. Okay, that's for starters. Um, Second, I'm speaking for me and me only. Um, like I said before, I deal with it in reality. I deal with real science and where life started from. I don't believe in. See, some of the stuff I can rock with the energy you put out on in this world. What you get, I mean, what you get, you put out in this world. I believe in that type of stuff. But when you start talking about there's this secret place and tunnels and reptilian people and all of this type of stuff, then that's where you lose me. Because now you're talking about some unreal.
Yeah, because
reality
you haven't did the
bullshit.
research. Why is
Hold
the
on, I got you, Jay. I
CIA
got you, Jay. I got you.
talking about that? But that's not what Apollo is talking about. He's holding
Yeah,
you
yeah, it
accountable.
is.
He's holding you accountable for where we are in the species since you come before him. And you as a grown man should know by now that it's fuck a belief. You should know things at 53. It's not about, oh, I can kind of get with this and I can kind of get with that. You too old to not be walking in your truth.
I am walking in my truth, which is
I
why I
doubt it.
don't follow
I
what
doubt
y'all
it.
talking about.
But yeah, I doubt it because we're explaining your genetics. So how you don't follow it, bro? What are your
Let me
cells doing on a cellular? What are you doing on a cellular level, bro?
look, let me tag in because they're giving you the details of the basically of the story. I'm gonna just hit you on the basics.
Nice. She actually being nice. And so
I
is
know
this
because
brother.
we really get into the era of the year of the nine and the age of Aquarius and all that stuff, but that's really just basically saying the truth gonna be the truth and it's gonna stand, and if you ain't with it, you gonna get left behind. That's basically what they trying to tell you. Either get with the
Yo, didn't I just say, that if you don't want to be on this train, get out the way. Cause you're gonna get ran over. I'm trying to tell you that, brother. You might be a OG, and I swear I have the utmost respect for you. But if you do not want to be on this train, get your ass out the way, cause we are not playing.
No, for real, bro. And this the thing, bro. Like this the thing, bro. This the thing. See, people like y'all really lack in y'all own belief systems as it is for real. Because I'm gonna use you as an example, the man downstairs, bro. I don't really know. You can answer in the comments, but let's just say, for instance, you are a person who believe in the Bible, for example, right? In the Bible, if y'all believe in it wholeheartedly, does it not talk about a dragon coming out of the water in the end of days? That's a reptilian, right? A dragon is a reptile of some sort. Then boom, she hit you with the details that there's tunnels and there's places there are reptilians hiding right there. Did they not tell you the same thing in the Bible? That's basically telling you that. So when do you decide to have some discernment and understand that a lot of the shit that you think is hearsay ain't hearsay? They just selling you into a fantasy little bubble for real instead of actually giving you the breakdown details for real. Then on top of that, bro, this alien conversation and all of that conversation been going around since before we got here. This was y'all generational information for real. We just start picking this shit up. We had to go through our 90s baby situations and shit. We growing up in the society that y'all had planted out for us, bro, due to the fact that y'all allowed the oppressor to oppress y'all and let y'all get so comfortable and complacent where y'all was in life and stuff like that. So now we left with debt, left with problems. We left with laws that we don't really understand and it was not made for us. We left with presidents that's not in our generation for real, bro. This is all of y'all, bro. This is why I'm so hard on that generation, bro. Like, ain't no 90 baby entered the presidential house yet, and it's looking like we ain't gonna never get the opportunity because of y'all motherfuckers. For real, bro. That's
Man,
how I
look,
look at it,
look,
bro.
And the
look.
truth,
I
yeah,
wanna look.
yeah,
You threw
Queen.
the alley
Oh, go
oop.
ahead,
Hold
brother.
on. He threw the alley oop. Let me dunk this motherfucker like Vince Carter.
I mean, dunk that bitch.
Go ahead,
Okay,
brother.
homie. I got you. So check this out. I hear what you're saying, right? And that is a lot of us. I'm talking about from the 80s to the early 90s, about 97, even the middle 90s, man. It's a lot of children who is not playing this shit. Okay? Y'all can keep on playing this game if you want to, but these children are not playing. And it's a lot of us that ain't playing. So if you don't get out the way, you gonna have some problems, dog. And we just trying to tell y'all, and we being nice. See, this the thing. I hate that we be nice, right? What the? Why? Why are we being nice? Because we don't want y'all to get caught up in what might happen. I'm telling y'all, get out the way. We not playing with nobody. We know who we are. We know where we come from, and we know what we have done in this world. And no one is going to take that from us. And our babies know it better than us. That's the crazy part. Our babies know it better than us. I heard this young lady, she's 13 years old, and she knew all of it. I'm talking about from the good to the bad. She knew all of it. Y'all, just get out the way. Just get out the way. And I'm a land right there, y'all. I'm a land right there. Get out the way.
Wait, before y'all come back in and finish it off with the slides, let me double back with the game breaker thing, because bro said something that I love to talk about, which is reality. Remember our first little conversation, bro? You talk about reality. Let me tell you what the reality that I see is without having to get into all the spirituality and all of that stuff. With the reality, what I seen that we got brought over here forcefully for real. And the reality I seen through them generations of being forcefully brought over here, bro, we was being oppressed, beat, killed, kidnapped, and et cetera for real, bro. We was getting real life like that. Then in reality, I also when I was in history class and studying, you know what history taught me? In reality, y'all let them make y'all drink out of two different water fountains, go to two different schools, go to two different restaurants, go to two different places. In reality, I watched every fucking Black History Month. I watched the same movie over and over again of watching y'all all hold hands and walk down the street and plead with these people that y'all know don't care about y'all about being next to them. Just being next to them, bro. Just being next to them, not
Hold on,
fighting.
wait a minute. Hold on. I want to
Hold on,
ask you
hold on.
though. Do,
What's up?
do you know why that is though? Man, I swear you gotta do more research, bro. Because that
I'm
was.
not one of them people that
Go
I'm not one of
ahead,
them
go
people
ahead,
that
bro.
you know what I'm saying that I know everything for real. Because right now, what I consider this is I'm on my journey for real. This is why I come and tap in with Jay and them because they know a lot of shit I don't know. I come in here and learn something real quick. Come here and take me some notes real quick, and then instead of just following blindly for real, I go do my own little research. I go tap in because that's what you're supposed to do. Because I'm me, they not me, and I'm not them for real. I can only see through my eyes, bro. This everything that I'm speaking right now is based off of a lot of the research for real, bro. And as far as that, you got different ways of why this happened. You got
Well,
different
is it? Can I ask you
ways.
something? This me having conversation with you, bro.
Excuse me,
It. Oh, I'm
abundance,
sorry.
excuse me. Pardon me. I'm just going to say something real quick and land my plane so you guys can continue. Abundance to the host, son, daughter. In reference to a man, uh, this gentleman, the man downstairs, you said you live in a reality. The reality right now is if you've seen the news or any posting, you can go to my page. I posted it. The mayor of New York just outed the going out administration of losing 500,000 children. They said they don't know where they are. 500 children. They don't know. He's on there. He don't know where they are. But you're living in reality. Okay? There are over 250, 250K black women missing. But you sitting here talking about you live in a reality. And let me address this, Apollo. I can't really see your name. I don't know who this downstairs person is, but I'm 60 years old and I'm not on his queue. So one of the things I would appreciate the young generations to stop doing is including everyone in that generation. As the gentleman above me said, the brother above me said, you have to do more research because they only show you what they want you to see, which is people accepting that. You got to go see the pictures they removed of black people drinking from those fountains, fighting police, being arrested in massive amounts. And I was a little girl when that was happening. Okay? And yes, this information has been out here a long time for the ones who wanted to grab hold of it and do what they needed to do with it. Same thing is now. Jay and Denzel been given this information for months, and you still have people that won't pick up a book, won't go and research it. This is what it's about now. It's not about who you feel was in the generation of what. Don't taint him up with other people. We have to stop doing this. The same way I try not to taint younger people up with other people. And I try to understand young people, no matter who says they're bad or they can't be saved. I try to understand them and find out, because there's always a root problem. And if you can get to the root, you can fix it. Okay? So this person that claimed they're living in reality, the reality is 500,000 of our children are missing and nobody knows where they are. And you should ask yourself why. Why are Black women and children missing in such high numbers and no one is concerned or no one is looking? But you getting up here talk about you live in a reality. Where's your reality? In hell? Thank you, host. I land my plane.
See,
Gratitude
sister,
and
that's the
abundance. Hold on. Gratitude and abundance, Lady Lover. I had a lot going on a moment ago, y'all, so I wasn't really near the phone. I was dealing with a lot, but I heard everything that was said. I understand where Apollo is coming from because he was just seeking that opportunity. Like, hey, this is something that I also noticed in our community. But again, it's very important to hear both sides, everybody's perspective, because this is what we're supposed to do. If we don't talk about the issues within our community, issues within our species, then we can't fix anything, right? So gratitude and abundance, Leather Lover, go ahead, realize. And actually, go ahead, Love Monique, and then we'll get to realize.
Abundance, sister, abundance. Real TV. You definitely right when we talked about the children, because the children are definitely starting to understand, especially mine's. My children, they know about prokaryotic, eukaryotic. They know about the neuromelanin. They know about how many cells we have in our bodies and eukaryotic. They know the difference and everything else. And the whole thing, the thing is to educate our children. I got two other star seeds that's coming to my house this weekend, so I can teach them about what my children knows. So the whole point is to save these children and educate the children as well. While I'm getting educated, they're getting educated as well. I make sure I reassure them about who they are, know thyself, every day, every morning. We talk every morning. If they have any questions, we'll call my brothers and sisters and they will talk to them as well. They even do mini sessions with them. They learn about this in 3 days, literally 3 days, and now they getting it. And I have a 3-year-old that already knowing it, that's learning as well. He knows who he is, where he comes from, what is neuromelanin, what's the power, and many
I
more.
love that, sister. I love that. I swear I love that. That
Let her finish
that gives
speaking.
me
Let her finish speaking.
Abundance, abundance. Thank you, Jay. Abundance of real. But that's the part. That's the thing is, she's in a room. But that's the thing. No, she not. Yeah, I don't know where she at. She probably downstairs. I don't know. Sorry about that. But that's the thing. I have, like I said, two other star seeds coming to my house this weekend, so I can educate them, so they can know who they are. Because the point is to save the children, and I feel like that's my purpose, is to save the children. Abundance.
Abundance and gratitude. Go ahead, realize.
what that sister just said was for me it was great because um we going back and forth, what I'm saying, battling each other as if we supposed to be opposed to each other, and that just don't make no sense to me because without each other we can't exist, y'all. Without each other we can't exist. There is no such thing as a black man or a black woman if we don't do what we have to do. And for me, That's very important. And me saying that is very, very important to me because I say it to every quote unquote black woman and black man that I step out my house and speak to every day. We have to understand that creating life and giving energy to life is something that we have to do, y'all, because we the only ones that can do it. We the only ones that's groovy and smoothie and
How do we do
all that,
that?
yo.
Realize, how do we do that?
Okay, the way that we do it is that we love one another. Every time you go out your house, I don't care. I don't care. You have to love on one another and tell your brothers and sisters, hey man, I love you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we don't trust each other. And that is one point that is real. No one can tell me I'm wrong. We don't trust each other, right? So the best way that we can do something to change that is that we love on one another. I'm talking about every time you leave out your house, every time you love on that brother, you love on that sister, and you tell her, hey, you know what? Even if she just a homeless lady, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta give her no money. Just say, hey sister, I love your hair. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Just be there and do something and say something to make somebody's life better. I'm not coming up here to say kumbaya, my lord, but god damn, we got to learn how to love each other, y'all. And that's real. I look, my whole point of coming up here is to say that it's time. It's time for us to love one another enough past this bullshit. Because guess what? You can love somebody past their pain, but are you willing to love somebody past their pain that look just like you? And I'm done.
I'm gonna come clean. I get it. That's been the message in our community for a long time, to love each other, and that has not brought our children back. As a matter of fact, more children have gone missing because, again, we have to start understanding what it means to really know thyself and understanding that everything starts with you. It's a whole lot of love in the hood right now, and our children are still being snatched. And I can guarantee you, loving each other is not what's gonna, loving each other, starting with outside of yourself, is not gonna bring our children back. What brings our children back is us understanding energy and how we are supposed, and what ways we're supposed to embody that. Because everything starts with you first. You see what I'm saying? You have to realize that since everything starts with you, we are already together. You see what I'm saying? And I'm switching topics. My bad. I speak in fragments and stuff because of my brain. But if you look at our communities, we are already together. Zell says this all the time. We are already together. Look at the hood. Look at the clubs. Look at the bars. But what's happening in those settings? What's happening in our predominantly BLK schools? What's happening? And it's still love being spread. What are we loving though? Chicken, rugs, the wrong things. Because we don't understand the value in you. You don't understand your your etheric body. You don't understand your physical body.
But see, hold on, sis. Can I ask you something? Let's be real. Do we even know what you are talking about? Because I can almost guarantee you
We do
that
not.
half of these
We do
mother
not.
suckers
And
on
I
here
can
don't even know
guarantee
what you're
you,
talking about.
and I can guarantee you that spreading love the way that it's already being spread is not going to fix a damn thing in our community. We struggle with self-love. That's what made us go live tonight. We was on a panel where people that look like me and you was making fun of putting pictures on the board of our African brothers and sisters saying that we're different, that we're not the same genetically. and they do this and they do this and mud huts this and mud huts that. So when we're talking about love, niggas have been saying African booty scratchers. Niggas have been, you
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying, not loving
I
each
hear you.
other
I
for
hear
a
you.
while. But like I said, the call is always coming from inside the home. You don't see the value in you, so then how could you see the value in your reflection or your species or your community or your people if it don't start with you first? I get that everybody has, oh, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing, or this is the live that I'm doing, or this is the type of information that's because they were in there talking about the cranium is different and da. Let me tell you something, bro. Genetically, we are all the same. And whatever puzzle piece that you need to figure out for that in order to save your species is your only job. That's your only role. You see what I'm saying? When we talk about the gift and talents, that's what they're for. It's for you to be communal with your species. But how do you find that? You have to first understand that you're an energetic match for everything. You have to be the change you wish to see in the world. But it starts with you. Because when you give it to you, then it comes to you abundantly. That's how energy works. So it's not about saying, oh, go love on someone else. Love you. I'm reading a book about the way of the empath. And literally it says in here, it talks about self-love like on the 7th page of the book. And that's the key to self-love is the starting part of empathy. What is empathy? That's being able to feel, engage through what they call a sixth sense, but they are six ether beings. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't understand self-love, you're not going to understand anything. It starts with you first. All right? Gratitude and abundance. Go ahead, Zod. Welcome back. Or who is up here next? Zod or mine? Go ahead, Zod.
My question is, do you think the oppressor is experimenting on us?
Absolutely. That's why we saying free the children. From where? Underground facilities and wherever else they at. You see what I'm
So,
saying? Of course, the
Yeah.
totipotent stem cell, which the BLK children come here abundant with, right? The mother of life, which is the BLK woman, is the only woman with the totipotent stem cell. It's the totipotent
mhm.
stem cell that's fertilized. This is where integration takes place. So this is what we're talking about. They're here. This is not a that they came from us naturally. This was done through electrical fusion. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anything else?
All right. Well, I feel like if we know they are experimenting on us, that is our solution. We must stop the experimenting of our consciousness. We must stand up for ourselves against them and let them know we're done being experimented on a military,
They've been
bro.
doing
It's
this for
it's all
300,000
military,
years,
and
bro.
yeah,
300,000 years,
it's
and we've been falling in frequency ever since then. This is the
I
lowest
know.
frequency that our anatomy will take. That's something else that Zell
Yeah.
also says. And that's not our job to stop that. That's what our brothers and sisters, all these UAPs and stuff, that's what they're doing is clearing up that. What we have to do in this frequency with each other is literally, like I just said, self-love. And that's what puts you on the path to save the children, the ones that's already here, the ones that's in front of your face. That's what we mean. You don't even know exactly where the underground tunnels are. And finding that information is going to be kind of hard. But from a different frequency, the same reflection that shares the same genetic makeup is doing that. This is why we talk about energy. Choose that. Choose that. Choose your children to be free. This is why, again, we put quotes around oppressor because they're not really oppressing us.
Yep, the day they enslaved us was the day they so-called enslaved themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because they were made with a timer, and that sun is that timer.
Can I ask you something,
Yes.
brother? Do
Yeah, go
you
ahead.
even know about white cargo?
Wait, hold on, realize. Hold on. Go ahead, Zod. Zod is talking. We do one at a time so that way that it keeps the flow of the conversation. After Zod is done, then it's gonna be mine and then your kid, and then we'll go back to realize. Go ahead, Zod.
All right, so how do we save the kids, right? You say with love and everything like that, when we know they are watching us, all eyes are on us to make the next move. So how do we save our own kids when they already have tactics and strategies against us when we do come together? Because that's the biggest threat is when we unite, come together.
Because you're trying to unite physically when we're talking about energy. This is why I
Yeah, right.
said we're already, hold on, Zod, hold on. You asked me a question. We are already together physically. We are already seeing that manipulation happen now. So it's not that's already happening. So the only thing that we haven't done is come together in spirit. Is come together on the same vibration and frequency magnetically. We're operating in the physical when we're etheric beings. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? You have to go back to understanding energy. Understanding that whatever it is that you want, you manifest by being an energetic match. You don't match energy by trying to understand somebody else's, you know what I'm saying? You have to go within, you have to figure out your puzzle piece. You have to figure out what it is. That's how you save the children. They're not kids because they're not baby goats, right? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about YT children and everybody else? Those are kids. Those are kid white kids, Hispanic kids, Mexican kids, those are kids because they share the same genetic makeup as the goat,
That's animals.
as the dog,
Yeah.
as everything else. But when we're talking
Yeah.
about our species, those are children. Those are star seeds. So again, understanding energy, because when you don't understand the real etom, the real energetic frequency that the word holds, then you just say anything, then you cast spells over yourself, then we stay in the frequency, then we don't progress it. You see how important understanding energy is? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, everybody worried about, oh, how are we gonna come together? Are we gonna unite? We're gonna unite with each other magnetically. So-called black people are magnets to each other. If you see how protons and electrons come together, this is how we move. But they know who they are, though. We're not gonna. How are we gonna come together? But we don't fully know who we are. We don't. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. That's why the number one rule in the cosmos is know thyself. Because once you know thyself, everything else will come. See what I'm saying? They're watching
No,
our
no,
brothers
you
and
you
We do
saying
sisters.
the
know
Our
that
truth.
we
brothers
are
and sisters.
nature,
Hold
right?
on,
In the
hold on, hold
flesh.
on, hold on. Our brothers and sisters are watching who's moving like a prokaryotic cell and who's moving like a eukaryotic cell. Are you still eating meat? Do you still believe in the system? Do you still believe in a clock? Do you still believe in a calendar? That's what they're watching. Or are you
Ask you
detaching from
something.
that and learning
Can
your
I ask you
own?
something?
Hold on, man.
Hold on.
Hold
Just
on.
wait.
I know you want to
No,
ask
because
something, but when somebody's speaking and you cut them off,
go ahead, brother.
how
Go
can we
ahead.
have a
My
conversation,
no
brother?
disrespect. Go ahead, brother.
You know what I'm saying? But I lost the flow. But go ahead, ask your question.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah,
Does eating meat or eating vegetables make you different from the land? Because the land
Bro,
can
see,
tell you.
that's why we be saying let people finish.
meat eaters can never outthink sun
And I'm
eaters.
not trying to cut you off now, but I just want to say something for the room. You cannot have a conversation while constantly cutting someone off. Everybody in here is an adult and has self control. And in here, we hold people accountable, bro. Let's stop over talking each other. Give people the floor just like you're given the floor. And if the hosts interject, there's a reason for that because this is our live. Okay. So we've already explained what's organic and what's inorganic. So when we're talking about meat, meat is not organic to our bodies to eat, not cows, pigs, bacon, and shit like that.
Yep. And that's the same thing that this opposite species that we speak of every day, that is not genetically the same as us, is spliced with. You see what I'm saying? And that adds on to the antigens in on our cells, which weakens our lymphatic system to parasites, diseases, and cancers that actually come from them. Venereal 98% of venereal diseases comes from zebrafish, which they are all spliced with. You see what I'm saying? So it's just you gotta realize that, my brother. But I was just gonna say that.
He was just finna say that, and he got cut off. Go ahead, yo, kid.
What's up, abundance, y'all? Yeah, I just wanted to say that, I appreciate y'all, rounding me back and checking me on, like, being in that other live and was laughing at the Africans and stuff, because it's true. Like, we shouldn't, like Lady Leather Lover said, that's undereducated. Like, we shouldn't be in in the other rooms with our brothers and sisters, basically, like, joking on them and stuff. Like that is wrong, and like we do need to focus on ascending and like being on like a positive, more of a positive path.
Yeah, like that's the thing. They don't know what happened on different continents to so-called black people. They don't know why black people have those type of processes happening to them. They don't know that the antigens that what happened over there. They don't know that they were injecting black women with monkey semen to see if they would get pregnant. They don't know that they were doing that over there. They don't. They were doing all these. They were cutting off hands, unaliving them at a massive rate, experimenting on them. It's like why would they do that if they're not the same as you? It doesn't make
Exactly.
sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if Africans ain't you, how do they have the similar phenotype as you? So are you saying that your genetics can be spliced and somebody got a hold of your genetics and they spliced it and now they
Can I
made a
can I
copy?
ask you something?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when all of these when all of these
Get off. Get on there and get off the panel.
yo, yeah, what I was saying, when all of these land masses make up the Mother Earth, you see what I'm saying? They're all essential for Mother Earth. They make up her, just like all your cells are essential in your body to make up you. That's what I mean. So it's like it doesn't make sense how we're arguing about landmass when we biologically identify with every landmass. It doesn't make sense.
Facts. Go ahead. Abundance and gratitude, your kid. Go ahead, realize.
I just one question, and this is to everybody on the panel. How is it that our DNA can tie to another landmass, but the people on that landmass, their DNA does not tie to us? That's just my one
Who
question.
are you
That's it.
talking about?
I'm speaking of the melanated people on the landmass of Africa. And I'm speaking of the melanated people on the landmass of America. How is it that they always tie us to them, But on some real shit, let's just be real, y'all. They can never tie them to us. Let's be real. You can get mad as you want. You can think what you want, but let's be real about this situation. I've
I,
never seen not one African say that, you know what? My people tie back to America. That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
first of all, that's not how none of this work, and that's not even what we're saying. What we're saying is that we're native to the entire planet. First of all, the maps that they show us are manipulated. They're not even real. There's other parts of the map that they're not even showing you. Other bodies of water, other people we've never seen before that biologically and genetically are the same as us. It's so much that they not telling you, and they're altering the story so much that if you look at the BLK woman's genetics, we are all connected through her. We're the first, as BLK women, we're the replication through the mitochondria deoxyetheric acid,
I wasn't gonna go there, sister.
replication of
I
the
wasn't gonna
very
go there, but
first
you
woman
right.
that ever
You right.
existed here. So when we talk about the shades, yes, there are 48 different shades, but that has nothing to do with race theory or ethnic groups, right? Because if that was the case, then there would be 48 different races. And obviously there aren't. But when we get into black people, we're broken up by ethnic groups. Considering that we were here first, everywhere. You got to understand how the story was manipulated and altered. That's why I be telling my people, get out of history, because he's telling you his story anyway. But genetics is her story because you come from who? Even when we're talking about them, they're here through electrical fusion because they needed what first? Exactly. So it's always going to come back to us no matter what landmass, right? No matter what landmass, it always still comes back to us.
and there's no biological differences that people say when they say, "Oh, they're different from us. They're different from us." But you guys can't explain the biological or genetic difference between y'all. It doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? And then when we look at
Well,
our
there is
phenotype,
his
when we
story
look
and
hold
our
on, when we look
story.
at our phenotype and we look at our integumentary system, and then we look at all of our ether, you see what I'm saying? We biosynthesize the sun and it grows towards the sun. And we can exist here with just the sun. So how is it that the black woman has a whole set of genes in her womb that is connected to a whole group of black people outside of this planet that nobody ever seen before, but yet we subscribing to one landmass? I just want to know that because people saying, "Oh, they're different from us." How? What is the biological and genetic reason of how y'all we're different? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because when we look at our phenotype, like I just said, is determined by your biology. So that means that we all working the same. And like she just said, all black women, doesn't matter if you're in Africa, it doesn't matter if you're in Mars and you're a black woman, it doesn't matter if you're in Jamaica and you're a black woman. They all are the same, genetically the same woman. You know what I'm saying? The copy of the first woman. That's
I
what it
got something to
is.
say.
Go ahead.
The
That
way
may
we are
be true.
different,
Oh my bad. Go ahead, bro.
the way we are different from the ones in America and the ones in Africa is if you notice that the ones in America can grow bushes pointing up towards the sun and beards. The ones in Africa cannot do that. That makes us more superior than them.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the oppressor knows that. That's why they disconnected you from the landmass and told you to look at Africa as your home. Because
You do understand that biosynthesis is the same process you described. It's the same thing. We're still biosynthesizing.
And I've seen black people in Africa have beards and bushes, have a bush of hair. It's not only black people in America who have afros and
Well,
have
can I ask you
hold
something,
on, hold
brother?
on, hold on.
Do you
Sir,
do
I'm gonna
you
go
believe
ahead. I'm gonna
do
go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and you have a great day, okay? Because we
Like
can't keep doing that. We can't keep doing that.
so
Have respect that people have for you, bro. You can't keep cutting people off. That's disrespectful. Go ahead.
so-called black people throughout the whole planet can grow afros. You see what I'm saying? Or can grow beards. You see what I'm saying? So when you said that, it didn't make sense when you try to say that that was what made y'all superior. That the fact that hair grows when it doesn't, when all of us can grow that hair.
You said it makes us more superior than them and the oppressor. Like
It's crazy. You can't make this shit up.
it's explaining how our genetics are the same. And when it comes to looser, like, are we explaining the effects of mass of global grape as well?
We
Recessive
explaining.
genes, antigens surrounding our cells. So things phenotypically presenting differently, but does that change the way that does that change you from being a prokaryotic cell? No.
Yeah, when people say that, they don't. When people are talking like that, they don't realize about the antigens. They don't realize, like she just said, the graping. That's when we talk about when grape was legal. They raped women all over the planet, so-called black women all over the planet, and they all used their cells to sustain life on the planet and to travel through the Van Halen belt. They're all. Why is it all women all over the planet, so-called black women, that are missing the most? Huh? It doesn't make sense. Y'all not realizing the truth. This was a test on our unity. That's the problem. We have a whole completely different organism on the planet that isn't that over 5 billion people that are not native to the planet, and we fighting over each other, thinking that we not native when black people exist throughout the whole cosmos. It's already science. These scientists know this.
This is not
That
about
is true.
superiority.
That
I
is
just
true.
want to say that to you. This is not about superiority. Not
Facts.
even when it comes to them. What we're explaining is genetics. However
Yes,
you
or
perceive
a
that, however you
right.
perceive that is up to you and is a reflection of you.
Okay. My thing is, why do they focus on America the most? And why do they toxify our air the most out of the whole entire world? There's something there that you're not looking at. It's the reason because they know on a genetic level, on a metaphysical level, they know who the original being is, and they know that being only exists in America and the Caribbean islands.
Have
They
you
know that.
traveled? Have you traveled?
Yes,
Where to?
yes.
Where
The
to?
Caribbeans, South
Where
America,
in the Caribbean, please?
Jamaica.
Only Jamaica?
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Then you should know. In the other islands, I don't know about Jamaica, I don't believe so. But in other islands, food from the US is not even allowed, to include
I know.
England. Okay? So it's not that the US is not targeting, it's that those individuals and those countries are aware and they do not allow specific foods from the US into their country because they grow their own foods. So
Not
that
only
would dispel your
that,
idea.
gratitude and abundance for that. And not only that, as a people, we've been falling in frequency for the last 300 years. You don't know what they were doing to Africa in the last energy cycle. You don't know what they were doing to South America or other parts. Just because they make you focus on it in this lifetime, in this energy cycle, you have to understand what's happening on an etheric level and what's been happening to our people on an etheric level as well.
Facts.
They
We've been through this.
manipulate energy, bro. So that's how they choose to
Yes.
manipulate energy, because they're experimenting on all of us. So if that's how they're experimenting on the people in America, that's not to eliminate the fact that they took all the gold, all the resources. We know that Africa is one of the, according to their, right, according to what they say, one of the richest land masses according to them. But is that true? Because who's actually measuring and perceiving everything? Right? Who coins and deems things as wealthy or abundant, right? Who is actually saying this is valuable and this isn't? It's more pyramids here than it is there. But they won't talk about what they were doing back in the day to the Angolans. They won't talk about the wars that were actually fought and won by women. They're not going to tell you that part, but we have our own people focusing on, well, this is what they're doing to America. This is what, do you not enter? So basically what you're saying is that your oppression is a little bit less than mine. How fucking toxic is that? Considering that it's the same common denominator, bro. Toxic as fuck.
Yeah, and you was talking about, oh, they poisoning the air here. Like she just said, what they're doing here,
Poisoning every fucking
they poisoning the
where.
whole planet. They literally
I
changed the
forgot to go back to that.
They literally changed the rotation of the planet. Did they change the
Planet.
rotation of America, or did they change the rotation of the planet, my
Planet.
nigga?
The
Fuck?
fuck?
Like, it's like,
Nigga,
you
it's
gotta
places
realize.
that they weren't even able to conquer, nigga. They just got you focused on America and Africa, and these are names that they gave it.
And if we
which shrinks the vibration of the landmass itself. Fuck, I
one
can't
thing you gotta
stand
Y'all
know,
don't
it.
fucking realize that every fucking
I'm
word
gonna
in
get you out
America.
of here because
what
I
you
don't
gotta
even give a
realize,
damn. That's hateful ass ideology, bro.
what you gotta realize is we're still one connected landmass. All continents. We're not even separate as you think we are. Then we're not as far as you think we are. When you're on that plane, they circling around. Those pilots are trained. Let me tell you that first. Those pilots are very trained.
Let me tell you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just
Go.
wanted to say, we know that our DEA is deoxyetheric acid. We are neuromelanin, and if neuromelanin is condensed sunlight, and no one on the planet knows how old that sun is, how can they tell us how old we are? So we are before Earth. We are before Earth. We are before that. You see what I'm saying? We Earth is just one of our homes. The fuck is we talking about? You worried about one place?
Hold on, TikToker. We'll get to you in a second.
Every landmass is special. You don't understand Earth. That's why you don't understand the
Facts.
reality that you're in. You don't understand the womb that you're in, my brother.
Sad, bro.
You don't understand that. You don't understand your genetic makeup, which is why you look at your reflection as different.
Facts.
And that's an internal thing. That's why she always say the call is from inside the house. The fuck?
Facts.
Don't try to say, oh, they different. Like, it's on you, nigga.
Yeah,
You
the
gotta
call is all,
realize.
it's your perspective. So if you think that you're really different from them niggas, that's really fucking wild considering that they know that we the same. They know that we the same. They will tell you that there's two different haplogroups. So they put us all in the same fucking category and they're not even the same amongst themselves, which is called incomplete dominance. But to what I was gonna say about the planes flying, nigga, tell me why I was traveling and we were 25 to 30 minutes late, but only ended up 5 minutes past the time we were supposed to get there. How are we 25 minutes late taking off? But I was supposed to get here at 2:05 and it's 2:10. But we 25 minutes late. Somebody didn't fly that extra circle. Clearly, somebody didn't do that last lap.
And he's talking about there's a lot of pyramids. You know how many pyramids are all over all planets? There's pyramids all in all planets. There's pyramids. We have many pyramids. And we arguing about that. And while we doing that, our children getting snatched on the low. And we just not realizing that. So our genetics is the main thing.
Go ahead, TikToker, go ahead, TikToker, and then we'll get back to Leather Lover.
Yeah, I think what happens is when you hear someone talk about it's America, 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 I don't think they really go. They're not really going back in history. They're probably only going back a couple hundred years. So they think like America is the end all and be all, and it's really far from the truth because like you guys said, at the end of the day, the whole planet is being attacked. Like everywhere is being poisoned, everywhere is being terraformed. So when you hear people talk like that, they're just really, I think it's coming from a sense of entitlement, and they just want to feel seen. That's it.
Somebody literally came in here earlier and said, are you saying that black people existed here before transatlantic slave? That was a so-called black man. You mean to tell me you don't know that your people existed here before so then nigga, where did we come from? Like, how did they get us? Nigga, didn't you chicken versus egg? Who was here first, nigga?
And if you don't know where you don't, if you don't know where you came from, you'll never know where you're going. This is what is
They
wrong.
know
This is
that
what's wrong.
they know
You
that
don't
they
know where
come
we
out of the
come from.
caves, but niggas don't know that they came out the condition, the state that they came out of the caves. Once you know that there is no way that these people oppress you. They might slow down, quote unquote, you from seeing the truth, but nigga, you came here to for your journey for you to remember. You literally, all you have to do is remember, and you're eternal, and that's it. Your job is to know thyself. That's it. They don't even know that they're headed for the E word, extinction. F1 in the chat. I don't know if that's a trigger word. I already got flagged, so heavy F1 and emojis in the chat because I already been flagged for the night. So they're not looking at their counterparts. The Asian comes before them. They already can't reproduce with each other. The Syrians are done. The Dravidians are done. Nigga, next in line is the Caucasians. It goes the Asian, the Dravidian, and the Caucasian is last in line. So they still holding on to this false hope of, oh, we're untouched and we're this and we're that. Nigga, everything that y'all discovered had already been discovered at least 10,000 years prior to whatever date you deemed it as a discovery. Even when y'all come in here trying to argue y'all's math, y'all's science, y'all's liberal arts, it doesn't matter who taught y'all. If Imhotep was the first document in multi-genius, if Pythagorean theorem was actually discovered by BLK people 10,000 years before the Greeks found it, nigga, and then who taught the Greeks? Y'all came out on all fours. So who actually gave you bipedalism? Who's actually the reason why you're standing up straight talking? Why you even have a fucking school? Because it's your cells that constantly have to be programmed. Our prokaryotic cells is powered by neuromelanin, which is the all. That's the same thing that's found abundant in the cosmos and abundant on this planet, abundant everywhere. So like I said, you cooking TikToker. Go ahead, Leather Lover.
Thank you. Reason I asked him, did he travel, the brother that we had to drop, is because, he act like we get world news. We don't even get what's going on here unless it's shared on TikTok.
Facts.
So how
Facts.
would he know how other areas are being affected?
Facts.
If you're not traveling even on a regular basis, even if you are traveling, because some people are only traveling for fun and that's it. Some people are actually traveling to connect and to find out, check different areas and see how other people are living around the earth, around different areas. At least when I travel, that's what I'm doing. I'm traveling to connect and I'm traveling to see how people are living in different areas of the world. But basically he's sitting up here saying, oh, this, that, which is crazy. Because again, I'm going to go back to it. He's sitting up like he's getting world news every day, and he speaks about the food. Okay, even with countries that are banning food, they're getting to them, as Jay said, in different ways.
Exactly.
Air quality, even the behavior. They're trying to push different attitudes, foods with the white tea people, that tourists that go into these places and encourage things and have the money to entice people with the money, the poor people with the money. I had the opportunity to go to Korea much younger, and at that time, I don't know how it is now, but women are were trying to pick up other women, soldier female women and stuff like that, just to get money. So these are the things that affect areas. When they can't get at you one way, they will come at you in a different way. So it's amazing that he gets up here and not realize that. And this separation, you guys know I talk about this all the time. You guys talk about it too. This separation that some people are trying to build is a dangerous thing, because when we are trying to unite, and we are uniting, remove try, when we are uniting and you get individuals like that are separating based on low energy, low mentality, low everything, then that's a problem. And like you said, they need to check the their nutrition. They need to check themselves inside. And it's even like I was when I real or whatever he said about coming out and showing people love. I wanted to say to him, I do that a lot, and some people, my own people, look at me like I'm crazy. Some of them don't even speak back. Just 2 days ago, I was out just to get some sun walking, and these two black men were walking, and I had to cross path them, and all I said was, "How you two beautiful black men doing today?" And one of them looked at me like I was crazy. The other one said, "Oh, good. How you doing?" He was more genuine, but one of them, he looked at me like, why is she even speaking to us? And I get that a lot from even women sometimes. Oh, sister, you look beautiful. They'll look at you like you asked them for $1 or something. So, that's going on too. But the separation thing, it is ridiculous. It's low vibe. It's uneducated, as Denzel said, and it's people that don't know their genetics. And then he said something about Africans don't identify with themselves. Well, TikTok it with people here, which is not true, because TikTok is out now. But in 2016, when Facebook was hot on building, and we were discussing things like what you young people are discussing now, in 2016 in black groups, the Africans in Africa in different places were going crazy, and they were putting up videos and saying they are down with their brothers and sisters in America. We are one. It was all over Facebook, all over Africa. So when people say these things, I'm often wondering, where are they? Where are they? Where were they when all this stuff was going on? When black groups was encouraging us, then listen, we need to get our credit together only for land so we can plant food. You need to get you some type of land so you can plant your food. We need to be trading seeds. We need to be doing this. We need to stop eating meat. We need to stop messing with this. We need to unite. This was hot. And that was when I had first joined Facebook, because it was out a long time and I didn't want to be a part of it. But I landed in some really great black groups that was talking about everything now, talking about the sisters getting their poo-poos and the brothers getting their poo-poos and getting back with your sisters and treating your sisters right and saving our children and walking your kids to school and not laying on your butt and letting your 5-year-old walk to school by themselves or having a neighbor walk their kids to school. So I'm wondering, where were all these people? But I know where they were, eating in line in churches for that chicken sandwich. I rest.
Abundance and gratitude. We switched the topic. This is the topic we were actually supposed to do today, but we seen something else, so we decided to go live about that topic. But we're switching it up. We're not Sulani. I don't know why we subscribe to that. The word soul truly does not have a U in it. So why are we subscribing to that? When we typed in the word Solani, only things about TikTok came up. That's a movement or a trend. That's not even a real thing. Yeah, we striking nerves with this one tonight. The whole week, you're not black, right? And if you don't know that you're not black, if you don't know that you're not African American, like, we can use these titles for context purposes because we understand that we're in this frequency. But to really know thyself is not something that we see from our community for real. I really see people on this app really so-called getting upset with people for not saying that they Solani. If we're talking about the soul, which comes solar plexus, right? that has no U in it. So where does this word come from? Where does the origin of the word soul with the U even come from? Does that come from the eukaryotic species or the prokaryotic species? And I'm going to keep it moving to the last one, or the next one. Why do we subscribe to YT titles and cry about oppression? Why are we trying to be, oh, I'm African American, I'm African, I'm this, I'm that, when these are all YT titles? Like, what's up? We have the same oppressor. Do we understand how many different ways we are being chemically, or how many different ways we're being manipulated in the chemical imbalanced state that we're actually in? And the last one here, stay with me, y'all. I know this one is, but I need y'all to understand me on this, because that rainbow community is harmful to the BLK community's advancement. Keyword is advancement, okay? All right. I'm not even going to get into that right now. I really want people to pay attention to the words that are actually on the screen. This is something new that we touch on all the time because we talk about what our cells do, and we have talked about these topics before, but those topics that we kind of just like say and we don't really lock in on, like those supporting comments, we're actually locking in on those. We're starting that this week because we are seeing our people are literally subscribing to who's African and who's African American. Like this, like notice there aren't, unless they just all blocked on my phone, notice that there are not a lot of racism, colorism lives, right? Now what we're seeing is like self-hatred from our own community. Who's blacker than who? Who's more African American than, and then here's the thing. There are no YT people in those lives because there's nothing for them to colonize there. So we're hitting the self-destruct button on our own community. And we think we're doing something. We think we're bringing new information to the masses when it's really just the same shit in a new package. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to the advancement of our species, what you're doing, how you're interacting on an energetic down to a physical level, is it advancing your species or is it hurting it?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're reading biology for dummies, and it talks about CRISPR-Cas9 in there. It talks about integration and hybridization in there, and it also and under that topic, it talks about transgenic. That's very interesting. Gene means, that's talking about your biology. That means origin, right? Where we come from is being altered. Because what does it mean to trans? So when we look at these communities, if your biological state is being tampered with, is that natural? Let's lock in. Let's lock in for a second, because if we're altering our biological state, can you see the truth clearly? When you're constantly taking substances that your body doesn't naturally produce, hormones that your body doesn't naturally produce, that comes from who?
And gets pushed to children a lot. Y'all
To our
see that, right?
children. So what do you think when y'all are in here talking about the children, the children, the children, and putting 100s in the chat? You're not saving the children by doing that, y'all. That's stout. That's the. Hear me when I say this. If we are not being fruitful and multiplying on all levels, and a physical down to it for it to manifest on an etheric level, what are you doing for your species? I want y'all to really look into this series on Disney Plus, if you can, called Queens. I want y'all to really lock in on the matriarchy and what the females are doing in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to see how they're struggling as well. I want you to see how they're still finding ways to tap into nature. Even in nature, the masculine is doing the same thing that we see our masculine do today. They not at home. In a lot of cases, the masculine, even prokaryotic and the prokaryotic animals are not fulfilling because they are chemically imbalanced as well. These unnatural plants, we're feasting on those. We don't know as a community that kale is not conducive to our bodies, neither is cabbage or collard greens. or carrots. And niggas will make a whole soup out of that and then put meat in it and don't even understand that they just want the blood from the meat. If it's not herbs, fat, all this other stuff, well, excuse me, if it's not herbs, for you putting herbs on that, you wouldn't even like that meat. You're feeding parasites and antigens that are making you see a reality that is not conducive to your being. All right? We're not Solani. We're not black. We're not nothing. If it is created by a YT man, it's not us. If it's created by an Asian, if it's created by anybody outside of our species, and I'm not talking about the creations that they stole from us. I'm saying if it literally came from them, it is not conducive to our planet, to our species, to our people, and it's not going to save our children. Children is how the bloodline continues. So if the children aren't coming forth, how do we expand as a species when this is literally being promoted and pushed towards our children? It's not just underground tunnels. We have to understand energy manipulation on all levels.
And he said they don't do anything but just wait. But no, actually they're doing things on a daily basis. But what are they doing on a daily basis that is making them better so the species can be greater? You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's what we say. You gotta be able to read energy. What are you doing on a daily basis that's helping you develop your brain? You see what I'm saying?
He's saying the so-called people still under the spell of don't do nothing, just wait. Anything YT bad for you, for your mind and body. Yeah, he's saying the people still under the spell of just wait. He's saying for what's coming. If you're not doing what your cells are telling you to do if you're not following nature, let me just put it in simplest terms. If you're not following nature, just wait, because the energy, Mother Earth is going to do what she's supposed to do. The sun is still going to shine. Everything is still going to go back to nature. If you don't choose that energy, like the nigga said, just wait. Because that's what's being removed. It's the nucleus, the middleman. All of that is being removed. If you don't want to give up meat, everything that you consider YT, I've heard leather lovers say this before. Everything that you consider YT is being removed. That goes cholesterol is what? White. Sugar is what? White. Inflammation is what? White. So if you want to hang on to meat, which causes high cholesterol, right? Which literally, if I take a blood sample from you right now, after you just ate a whole roast beef, mashed potatoes with beef fat stirred in it, all the veggies fried in the beef fat, all of that. If that's what you have for dinner right now, and I take a blood sample, the first thing that I'm going to collect is going to be a couple droplets of blood. The next thing is going to be a white substance known as cholesterol, fat, mixed in with some blood, some. So not only does this shit overtake your arteries, how can you see the truth when blood is not even flowing freely through your veins and through your arteries, through your brain? That's a problem. That's literally a problem. It's not just meat, it's sugar too. It comes down to knowing what you're supposed to put in your body for real. Let's look at nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast has little to no nutrition. What the fuck are we talking about? Does our bodies need yeast? Like, no. You're using that, which is nothing but molecular gastronomy, energy manipulation. Yes, a seasoning is energy manipulation to make your brain, the neuroreceptors, think that you're consuming cheese. When you look at the palate, your tongue palate, there is no palate for cheese. So what are you trying to fulfill? You're trying to fulfill something that's not even there by putting the title nutritional in front of it. Like, what the fuck? This is what I mean when on my post, I have a post on my page that says, and in the caption, it literally says, if you haven't studied food inside and out, nanotech, molecular gastronomy, don't even tell me you a vegan for real. If you don't really know your genetic makeup and what's supposed to go in there and what's not, physically and etherically, you don't know what's vegan, because vegan is not just what you put in your body as far as food. That means being clean about all consumption. Vegan life, it's not just food. That means checking your energy at the door before you go into places. That means assessing your energy before you even get in the car, because why would I even go there? If I know that the place is going to shrink my vibration, is that conducive to my being? Who's really locking in? And I don't see my people doing that. We arguing about who's black, who's Solani, who's African American, who's doing this, who's doing that. That's what we doing. Go ahead, Roderick.
Like you saying, so so you saying like the argument is what? Like, help me understand this, because I'm trying to figure out this argument. Because I'm listening to you and I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Like, are black men or black women the issue? Who's the issue at the end of the day? Like, when we want to really look at this stuff, who is the issue? Is it black men? Because from my understanding, that black men are more of the issue when a lot of things come down to it. But I want to know how you feel as far as like when you get into these arguments that you have it and this knowledge that you have, because it seems like you've been studying.
The issue is not
The
knowing
it
thyself.
just so if you can tell, I've been studying. Have you been doing that? Because this is not about black men or women. I've
Okay.
literally said thousands of times since I've been speaking that I'm addressing our community. This
Okay.
is not on a black man or woman or none of that. I don't even
Okay.
know. See, that's the reflection of you, because your brain is compartmentalizing what I'm saying, coming down to black men and women and I'm talking about us as a species. I'm talking
Right.
about how we not reading energy. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm
Right.
actually making claims, stating facts, statements. I'm not
Right.
proposing an argument at all. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. No,
So we
I
have
get
to.
what you're saying as far as
No,
energy
I
when it
just
comes
speak
down.
with intensity. I just speak with intensity. That's all.
That's
Because I want
fine.
you to, before you leave, really get the truth, brother. What does
Okay.
what you're asking have to do with what's on the board?
Okay, because
I
as
wanna.
far as like when we start to lead with intention, like when it comes down to it, like it's a lot of things as far as like within your intention, it's for being able to sit there and ask specific questions to where you can get the specific answers. And then when you're sitting there dealing with individuals, when you're sitting there going off, what happens is that because the vibration that another person is on, it's not on the same vibration as you. So you can either see, you can either hear or see what I'm saying, but still not understand what is being like put down. And it's the same thing with me.
You're not an energetic match to what's being said. So that's why I was saying like it's a reflection of you, because those words are not on the board, and that's not even what I said. I never put it on a man or a woman. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay. All right. Well, then that's my bad as far as like not looking
No,
at the
it's
board.
not a bad. It's not a
No,
bad.
no, it is. I'm taking accountability, trying to be responsible.
Mhm.
So when it comes down to it, all I'm simply saying is that when it comes down to it, because I think that the hardest thing that we're facing and we're dealing with right now is that when a man he wants to take responsibility and accountability, and a woman wants to, what we're doing is we're counteracting on each other on so many different levels to where we need to be working with each other versus against each other. And I don't like, for me, like it's the cooking with the kaya, or the male feel like the woman is not in line. And when we realize this, that somehow If we can correlate and get to a point where we can sit there and start working with each other, man, we're unstoppable. That's to me that's what makes sense.
Okay.
Because you got a strong woman right here, and you got a strong brothers on the live that's having conversations, and we got to figure out like how we come together. And it's been a fallacy. My family can't get along with each other for the life of me. Why can't we get like why as us as individuals of color can't get along with each other in order to sit there and incorporate and to build? Like you got a lot of people that do it. And so we got to get to this point where now we sitting there honestly listening to each other. We're taking into consideration as far as like, I hear what you said. You hear what I'm saying. And we can sit there and get to a point where now we sit there and change the trajectory of our lives. But that's not what we're doing. What we're doing, we're combating as far as men and women. We're combating each other as far as species. And that's not helpful for our lineage. That's not as helpful for our generations. What we are doing is we are breaking each other's down, trying to sit there and figure out if the male is more dominant than the female, or the female is more
I think that must just be a thing in your world.
okay.
Because that's not even being discussed in here. We're talking about you're not Sulani, you're not black, you're not African American, etc. Why do we subscribe to YT titles and cry about oppression? And I think
Okay,
that's
so
slightly what you're doing right now because you're subscribing to male and female, which are terms
okay,
used to describe animals. So this whole thing is just to get people to understand energy, and that's at the base of who we are. You see what I'm saying? I would like for you to first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Y'all got until it's 7:58 Central Standard Time. Y'all have until 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to follow me real quick because I'm actually about to restart the live since this is a new topic. All right. But I'm just gonna say this. We have to start understanding energy as a community, bro. We don't. You know what I'm saying? That man versus woman thing or whatever, like woman, like that's not fucking real, bro. We got to start talking about masculine versus feminine. The masculine protects the species, right? I'm probably about to change this jump back to genetics. I'm about to turn it back to a topic that actually relates back to the sun for real. So our people can really see the truth because we're not even talking about, you know what I'm saying, what's even on the board.
For
He
real.
came in here talking about his own topic and then saying like, "Oh my bad, I didn't read it." So then why come up to a board when you don't know what's being discussed? I'm
And
gonna go ahead and
and
restart the live, y'all.
and you said that you don't know why so-called black people don't come together. You don't realize why your family because we're chemically imbalanced, and I'm pretty sure you eat meat and your whole family eat meat. You see what I'm saying? You're eating animals that is not conducive to your body. This is what's happening. Your environment that you're in is not conducive to your body. It was built off the genocide of your people, bro. See what I'm saying? So nobody's gonna come save you. What you gotta do is know thyself. You gotta know who you are, know your body, know your anatomy, know your left and right hemisphere of the brain. That's the divine and the divine masculine and divine feminine right there. The right and left hemisphere of your brain. You gotta learn how to sync that.
To learn how
You
everything
gotta
relates
understand.
back to you or how it doesn't. You see what I'm saying? Is this conducive to me or is it not? Solani with the U in it doesn't do anything for us. None of these titles do anything for us. We can use them for contextual purposes, but do you again know who you are without context, without words? Because we were originally using telepathy. All right, we gonna lock back in. I'm gonna restart it so we can get more people in here. All right, abundance and gratitude. I'll be right back.